What's good, Commanders fans, and happy Victory Monday. Another Victory Monday, guys. We're going to party like it's 1996. That's the last time we were 7-2. Also, shout out to BetUS. Today's live stream is brought to you by BetUS. I want to thank you guys for joining into the live stream. This is our 7th Victory Monday, guys. It just feels good, man. The vibes, the energy, the aura. Team players want to come here. Players are requesting to get traded here. It's just a different day, guys. It's a different day. We swept the Giants. I don't have my broom with me right now. I definitely would have brought it down with me. But you guys know the vibes. We swept the Giants, and that's difficult to do, guys. It's tough to do. It doesn't matter what quarterback they have, whether it's Tyrod Taylor, Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito. We swept the Giants in New York, guys. That's tough to do against a divisional opponent. It is hard to win in New York, man. We don't win in New York much. And I know it's a new front office, new quarterback, new everything. So we're starting new trends. Dan Quinn does not lose to the Giants. Tyler Biadasz does not lose to the Giants. We were at the top of the NFC East. If you did not hear, Dak Prescott is going to be out for the foreseeable future. I think the Cowboys are waving the white flag right now. The Giants are done. We just ended their season. We ended the Bears season last week. The Bears looked done and out after that game. And it's really just us against the Eagles at this point. Now, we're going to talk about the trade deadline, of course, and who potentially could be available, who we could possibly make a move for and whatnot. My thoughts on the trade deadline, but of course, we're going to enjoy the W right now and go over that. Just some of my notes, of course, and some historical stuff and whatnot, just enjoying that game. Brandon Coleman looked like a stud out there, man. We gave up 0 sacks and only 5 pressures to the New York Giants, and they led the league in sacks, guys. And the Giants, they led the league in sacks by a wide margin, by at least like 9 sacks and in sack rate. They have Brian Burns, they have Azeez Ojulari, they have Dexter Lawrence, and we neutralized those guys. So shout out to the offensive line. All those guys were studs, but man, this just feels good. We have a legitimate quarterback. We have a franchise quarterback, a guy that is an MVP candidate, not just offensive rookie of the year. You look at Dan Quinn getting turned up in the locker room. How could you not have that same energy and ready to run through a wall after seeing Dan Quinn in the locker room like that, man? To see a coach like that, and that's why players want to come here too. Not just because of Jaden. A lot of it, of course, is 90. I feel like it's 99% Jaden Daniels, of course, but you look at the other guys like Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, and just the culture that we have here now. And it's so weird to say culture. It really is. To say the darn good culture that we have right now. But players want to play here because of Jaden Daniels, Dan Quinn. You have people on podcasts. Players on podcasts from other teams talking about how good of a coach Dan Quinn is, how great of a quarterback Jaden Daniels is. And people see that, people hear that, and they're saying the same thing that people are saying on these player podcasts that are just loving Jaden Daniels because he's playing so well. And people want to come here, man. We are a destination. We are a trade destination, and we are a free agent destination. It's not like back in the day we had to fire up Jet One and go get Jason Taylor, go get Albert Haynesworth and overpay for those guys, Deion Sanders. And just the long list goes on and on and on, guys. It goes on and on and on. I don't want to traumatize you guys, like I said in my other video, about all the terrible signings and reaches and free agent moves that we were forced to do because nobody wanted to come here. But now people want to come here, and we can be decisive on who we want to let in our building. Who do we want to let join our culture? And guys are probably going to start taking pay cuts to come here. That's the crazy thing about it, too. And Jaden Daniels is on a rookie contract. You got over $100 million in cap space coming up next year. You got 9 draft picks, 4 draft picks in the top 100. There's just so much that Adam Peters can do with this team. Jaden Daniels is at the Wizards game right now, watching the game. Probably going to watch a little bit of the game myself as well. But, man, it's just surreal right now. It's surreal. But we got to take care of business. Eyes on the prize. Of course, Pittsburgh. What's up, E? He says, good one, Philadelphia. I have to take care of Arm Pittsburgh first, though. I like that. I like how you did that there, E. So, yeah, we got to take care of business against Pittsburgh, man. They are no slouch. Najee Harris, George Pickens, they got a good team. Russell Wilson's playing better. I'm surprised of how well he's been playing the last 2 games, but I think it's a winnable game for sure. We're 2.5 favorites right now. So if you do want to check that out on BetUS, we're 2.5 favorites against the Steelers. But that's going to be a physical game. TJ Watt, Highsmith, Joey Porter Jr., who was talking trash. Everybody who talks trash to us before the game, it usually doesn't end up going well. It doesn't go well for them. You look at Cam Taylor-Britt, when he talked trash, it didn't go well for him. You look at Jalen Johnson, who kind of talked trash a little bit, didn't go too well for him either. We ended up beating the Bears. So when teams usually talk trash before the game, that's what I like. I like that Joey Porter Jr. was talking some trash on Instagram Live with Emmanuel Forbes. And we'll see if Emmanuel Forbes is on the team this year coming up. I mean, after the trade deadline. So that would be interesting. But let me get to your comments here, guys. And then we're going to look at some grades and stuff. We're going to look at the snap count and just enjoy the time, man. Just party like it's 1996, guys. Enjoy the time. Carson Haskins, he said, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, that's how Dan Quinn was, man. He was turned up. He was turned up in the locker room, man. I was hyped too, man. I was hyped. And I love how they didn't let the emotional high of the Hail Mary get to them. There was actually a stat that the Commanders posted on Twitter. The Commanders page on Twitter, and also the Commanders page on Twitter was hilarious too when they showed the whiteboard with Jaden Daniels from Hard Knocks with Brian Dable, and Brian Dable really, really, really wanted Jaden Daniels, and he had him drawn on the whiteboard, and instead of having an L on the board, Jaden turned it to a W. So that was hilarious by the Commanders social media team right there, because we know Brian Dable, he wanted Jaden Daniels really, really badly. But so the stat is NFL teams who won on a walk-off game-winning touchdown were on a 7-game losing streak in their following game. That streak ended yesterday. That means that we won yesterday, of course, and we ended that streak of teams who won by a walk-off touchdown. And it's easy to let that happen because you're on that emotional high, and then you go into the next game. You just spent so much energy, so we just focused, locked in, and took care of business and did what we were supposed to do. So that's great on the coaching staff. That's great on Jaden Daniels. I do want to go over my notes. Dante Fowler was a dog, guys. He was a stud for sure. Dante Fowler had 2 sacks, he had a forced fumble. I mean, he's just been an unsung hero for the defense. He really has. Ball is life. Ball is life. We just needed that one turnover. We won the turnover battle again. We just needed that one turnover to change the game. We got into the field. We got into the red zone. Noah Brown had to force the pass interference. And then we had the first touchdown to Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin had 2 touchdowns, and he said, "You're too small," to Deonte Banks. Deonte Banks is another guy who talked trash. He talked trash last year on Instagram Live, talking about we should have drafted him and whatnot. He was talking trash. He was like, "I didn't see 17 today. I didn't see Terry McLaurin," and that was last year. All the trash he was talking. We saw Deonte Banks out there getting cooked. That's what we saw. So I love that for Terry. I love that for Jaden. I love that for this team. Deonte Banks has been struggling. He got benched against the Steelers. I know he went to the University of Maryland, but still, he's a New York Giant. So, you got to love the trash talking by Terry McLaurin. Then you look at the picture where Deonte Banks was very frustrated after the game as well. You look at Malik Neighbors too, man. Malik Neighbors, that Adam Schefter tweet, I know it's too early for Malik Neighbors to request a trade, but honestly, Malik Neighbors looked like he wanted a Commanders jersey on. That's the way he looked out there. He looked like he wanted a Commanders jersey on for sure in that game. Oh yes, Chris Rodriguez. I do want to give him a shout out because I just put up a video and people said that I forgot to say Chris Rodriguez and how good he was. He had a heck of a game. He stepped up big time for B-Rob, who was not available. It was a game time decision for B-Rob, and they decided to sit B-Rob out. So that was a huge decision before the game, and Chris Rodriguez stepped up big time, man. He stepped up big time and played well, man. Him and Austin Eckler, they were a dynamic duo out there. Jeremy McNichols had a couple carries. He didn't have any, huge runs. Let me bring up the stats as well. But Chris Rodriguez had a good game. The only thing I didn't like from the game is that we did not finish. I mean, we finished the game. We won the game 27-22, but we were on their 2-yard line, or really 1-yard line. And we decided to have class, and we took a knee. So I get it by Dan Quinn. I understand the principle of the game. I understand not running the score up. And honestly, I don't think it would have been running the score up because there was still like 50 seconds left in the game. So if they would have scored 34-22, I still think that would have been a respectable touchdown. I don't think it would have been running. It's not like we were up by 3 touchdowns or anything like that. We were only up by 5 points, which we ended up winning by. But I feel like we should have ran it in and got the 34. Instead of it being 27-22. Let Chris Rodriguez get that touchdown, man. Let him get the touchdown. He had 11 carries for 52 yards. His longest run was for 17 yards. Jeremy McNichols had 8 carries for 20 yards. His longest run was for 8 yards. So he had about 2 yards per carry, 2.5 yards per carry. Austin Eckler had 11 carries for 42 yards. His longest run was for 20 yards. Noah Brown had a day with 5 catches for 60 yards. I mean, Jaden was throwing some lasers to Noah Brown. Noah Brown had made a tough catch on the sideline. He made a tough catch over the middle as well. That was a beautiful pass by Jaden Daniels. That was awesome. De'Ami Brown made a big catch, a catch and run on a 3rd down. He ran for 24 yards. He had 1 catch for 24 yards. That was awesome to set us up to score before the end of the half. Alameda Zacchaeus had a clutch catch for 42 yards on a 2nd and 9, 2 catches for 48 yards. Austin Eckler had a 28-yard catch on a 3rd and 9 to get a 1st down and more to put us in scoring range. Terry McLaurin had only 2 catches on the day, but both his catches were for touchdowns, so he got the job done. 2 catches for 19 yards and 2 tutties. He has 7 touchdowns on the year so far, or 6. Yeah, he has – how many touchdowns on the year does he have? He has 6 touchdowns, I believe, on the year, and he had 4 last year. So he's already surpassed the amount of touchdowns that he had last year, which is just awesome. Man, we're first in rushing touchdowns this year with 15. Yes, Terry has 6 touchdowns this year. 6 touchdowns this year, 598 yards. So for all the people that were questioning Terry, saying he's not elite and whatnot, look what this guy is doing. Look at what he's doing. And all was the best. Like, comment, subscribe. We got to get him to 25. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for being a channel member as always. Thank you for being a great supporter as always. I thank you so much. Thank you so much. And make sure you guys listen to the comment as well. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We got to get to 25,000. Hopefully by the maybe before the summertime. We'll see. I'm at 18K right now. I'm almost at 18K, I think. Right now, second dote, and shout out to my aunt for that. Second dote says, "Woo! Let's roll the Steelers next." Excuse me. And then the Beagles held Commanders faithful. So yes, the Eagles, they're a tough opponent, but we're going to stay focused on the Steelers. But the next 2 weeks, the 2 Pennsylvania teams are going to be 2 really, really tough matches, 2 good games. One on Thursday night football against the Eagles, and then this week against the Steelers, who are 6-2, 5-2, something like that. So it's going to be a tough test. They got a good defense. They got some players. You know, they got George Pickens, Najee Harris, Russell Wilson's been playing well as of late, or ever since he got the starting job. He played well in those 2 games. Calvin Austin is not bad. He's a decent number 3 or number 2 receiver. He's a good punt returner as well. So you got to watch out for him. They got Jalen Warren, the running back, too. So they have a good team. They have a good roster. And then Mike Tomlin always has his team being a contender. And then, of course, TJ Watt and Haywood Highsmith. So they have some guys that can go and definitely hurt us for sure. But we got the horses as well. So, yeah, the Eagles, too. I mean, you saw Saquon Barkley do that backwards hurdle. So the main thing's going to be stopping him and slowing him down. You're probably not going to stop Saquon Barkley, but just slowing him down, making Jalen Hurts one-dimensional, and somewhat slowing down A.J. Brown. And it's going to be tough because we just don't have the corners to really match up with A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith. But if you can make the Eagles one-dimensional and slow down Saquon, which is a tall task for sure, then you have a puncher's chance. But the thing is, we have the firepower on offense to match their firepower on offense. So we can put up 30 points easily on any team any given Sunday if we want. So that Eagles game is going to be really good. It's going to be it's in Philly, 8:15 Thursday night. So it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be an electric game. It's going to come down who can make less mistakes, the obvious, but who can slow down the run game and who can make the most plays, because it does have the potential to be a shootout. It has the potential to be a shootout for sure. 2 high-powered offenses with very talented offenses going at it. YT Rennie says, "Let's go." What's up, Ed? What's up, man? I'm feeling good. 7-2, man. I'm going to party like it's 1996. It's been a long time. I think Norv Turner was the coach at the time. 1996. It's just so long ago, but it's just we're enjoying the vibes. I mean, you just feel the energy in the DMV. You just feel the energy in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. You can just feel the energy of all the Commanders fans all over. The Commanders fans took over the Giant Stadium. Like, they were singing "Hail to the Skins" in MetLife Stadium after the game. Or towards the end of the game, actually, during the game, they were singing hell to the Skins in MetLife Stadium. We don't do that. That does not happen a lot, guys. We're taking over people's stadium. We took over the Cardinal Stadium. We took over the Giants Stadium. We just did that. So I mean, we're taking over people's stadiums. That's what we're doing. We're dominating, and this fan base has awoken. It has awoken for sure, and we're starting to get home field advantages as well. G-Man says, get the dustpan out. I had it out yesterday. I forgot to bring it down with me. I would have brought it again for the stream to do that to the Giants for sure because they had it coming. And it's about time we sweep Daniel Jones. That's the best part about it too, man, because I was so tired of losing to Daniel Jones. But Jaden Daniels is not going to let that happen. I know the first time we won all field goals, but this time we made sure we scored in the red zone. There were still some opportunities where I felt like we could have scored instead of getting field goals, but, I'll take the dub any way we can get it for sure. Like I said before, I thought we should have scored on that last drive, but, it is what it is on that day. Quinn wanted to show class. But, of course, and I don't know if there's like a single player dud or anything like that, honestly, but what was I going to say? The defense stopping the run or slowing the run down. They got to improve on that. They got to improve on that because Tyrone Tracy was doing whatever he felt like doing. The first half, Daniel Jones threw the ball for -8 yards. -8 yards. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. -8 yards. That's how good our pass defense was in the first half. But the run defense, they just didn't stop running the football because it was working. It was either Tyrone Tracy up the middle or Daniel Jones out to the outside for a run for a first down or close to a first down. And they were converting on fourth downs. They were converting on third downs as well. So we just got to slow down the run game. The run defense has to improve. It has to be better, especially this week against Najee Harris. So that's really the only dud that I have. I don't have a single person. I know everybody's going to say Ben St. Juiced. And, if you want to say that, I don't disagree with you. I thought he was there a couple times. It's not like he was just burnt and just out of the picture or anything like that. Malik Neighbors is a tough cover. The pass interference they called on Ben St. Juice, I thought that was egregious. I thought that was a terrible call. But I guess that's like the only dud, if you want to point out a dud, is maybe Ben St. Juice, and that's really it. But everybody else was a stud, like Brandon Coleman. I want to go over Brandon Coleman's numbers here real quick. I know he had an 89.2 PFF grade, which is insane. He gave up 0 pressures, 0 sacks. He gave up just an awesome day for Brandon Coleman, a rookie, man. 86. He had an 86.6. I'm sorry, no. He had a 89.2 pass blocking grade, and he had a 78.6 PFF overall grade and a 78.6 PFF grade and a 70.6 run grade. So he had a heck of a day, and I feel like he's going to start from now on. I don't think he's going to come off the bench or anything like that. I think when Cornelius Lucas comes back, I think he's going to get all the snaps. I think he's going to get 100% of the snaps now, instead of that rotation that he was doing with Cornelius Lucas. And I'm a Cornelius Lucas fan, so I don't. If they still decide to do the rotation, I don't mind it. But it looks like they're going to give the keys to Brandon Coleman for that left tackle spot, and for him to do that against Brian Burns, and for him to do that against Azeez Ojulari at number 45 for the Giants. I mean, for him to do that as a rookie and shut those guys down and take those guys out of the game. And Brian Burns was a huge free agent signing for the Giants. I mean, for Brandon Coleman to come in and do that, that's just awesome to see that, especially from a third-round pick. For Adam Peters to have a draft where he finds a franchise quarterback, and not only that, but a franchise left tackle in one draft. I mean, that's just unheard of. It's really unheard of. So, Adam Peters, man, he's done a heck of a job so far, for sure, in his first year as a general manager. Jim D says, "What's up, man? This is something I just have never seen in my life. I mean, I haven't seen it either, man. Like I said, I've seen a lot of Commanders and Skins and Washington football team." Football. I mean, the glory days for me, honestly, were Clinton Portis, Santana Moss, and Mark Brunell. That's like the best that I've seen. I mean, that one Kirk Cousins year and then the one RG3 year. But other than that, it's like I haven't seen much at all. And Sean Taylor, Clinton Portis, Sean Taylor picking up the fumble, and doing that. Other than that, I just haven't seen it. I have never seen 7-2. I haven't seen more than 10 wins. I've only seen one playoff win. Playoffs. You're talking about playoffs. I've only seen one playoff win. That was the year with Sean Taylor where we beat Tampa Bay. I don't even think the numbers and stats from that game were so ugly. Chris Sims was the quarterback for the Buccaneers, I believe. And just even going back to the Hail Mary, like talking about moments like that, in-game moments. I mean, nothing I've seen has topped that while I've been alive. Of course, I saw the Santana Moss Monday Night Miracle. I saw the Santana Moss walk off overtime touchdown against the Jaguars. I did see that. I saw the Sean Taylor pick up the blocked field goal by Troy Vincent and run it back and get a face mask. Then we beat Dallas. I've seen that, but I mean, seeing that Hail Mary was just wow. I mean, that was just a where were you type of moment, type of memory. That just it really just kind of defines our season of how things have been going for us. And it's not like it's lucky or anything like that. It's just like we put ourselves in the position to take advantage of opportunities and have good fortune. That's just the way I look at it. But man, yes, Jim, this is something I've never seen before in my life. And just the energy, the vibes, and the way that our quarterback is playing, the way the players, the defense, the offensive line is playing, every running back, guys are stepping up. When guys get injured, guys get hurt, it's next man up. Chris Rodriguez was elevated from the practice squad on Saturday, and he balls out like that. Jeremy McNichols had a 2-touchdown game against the Cardinals. Austin Eckler is coming and playing well. Dante Fowler is having a season. He's having an outer body experience. Dante Fowler's looking like Dexter Manley and Charles Mann out there getting strip sacks and interceptions and pick sixes and ball is life. We're seeing Frankie Louvu play with his hair on fire. Bobby Wagner is that player coach that we needed out there. Quan Martin's playing good football. Jeremy Chin is playing good football. Like I said, offensive line from top to bottom. Andrew Wiley is saying this is the most fun he's ever had playing football. He played with Pat Mahomes in the Chiefs. And this is the most fun that he's ever had. This is what Andrew Wiley's telling people. You got Brandon Coleman. Nick Allegretti had to pop Brandon Coleman's finger back in. I mean, that's just the chemistry and the camaraderie that this team has at this point. So, I mean, it's like I said, the job's not done yet, guys. We don't want to get it's hard not to get too excited. And if you want to get too excited, I'm fine with it. I mean, we just haven't seen anything like this in decades and generations almost. I mean, it's just a surreal feeling. It really is. And if any organization deserves it, the Commanders deserve this 110%. All the stuff we've been through, ownership, bad GMs, bad coaching, bad offensive coordinators, bad quarterbacks. I mean, we just deserve this, guys. So we got to enjoy the moment, enjoy the wave. And it's for years to come. It's very sustainable because you got a quarterback, you got a good offensive line, you got a good coach, good front office, good GM, and an owner that's going to stay out the way. So this is going to be sustainable, guys. That's the great part about it, too, is that this is sustainable. It's not going to be a one-year wonder or anything like that. This is going to be sustainable for years to come. And the NFC East is going to be scared for sure, or is scared for sure. You got Dallas. Dak Prescott said, "Man, we freaking suck" on the sideline. Dak Prescott waving the flag, and he's going to be out for a couple games. Jordan Wickline says, "Do we make a trade tomorrow?" So that is the question of the hour, and excuse me, the question of the night. So I will quote what John Keim said earlier this morning. I'm gonna find the tweet because he was on the radio and he said what he believed. Now, Adam Schefter said that players want to come here, and then Diana Rossini said that we are in the market. She said that we have made calls for cornerbacks. And then Jonathan Jones, who is like a beat reporter for the NFL, he said that we are in the market for a wide receiver and a cornerback. And we have been reportedly checked in on Zadarius Smith. Zadarius Smith most likely is going to the Lions if that deal has not been made yet. So that's really the chatter right there. We haven't really been attached to any names. There was a rumor about Harold Landry, the defensive end from the Tennessee Titans, who's a really guard. He's a really darn good pass rusher. So if we do get Harold Landry, I mean, that would be a good pickup. I mean, you may have to give up a third-round pick, which I don't want to do. but we do have 2/3 from the Jahan Dotson trade. So it's like if you do give up one of the third round picks and you bring in Harold Landry, a good pass rusher that can add to the rotation of Dante Fowler, Dorrance Armstrong, Cleveland Farrell, and guys like that, then it's kind of like why not? Because if you do want to help out our secondary, a good way to help out the secondary, if you're not able to get J.C. Horn, Marshawn Lattimore, or Jonathan Jones, or any of those guys, one of the bigger name guys that possibly would be available that are not openly available at this point. We haven't heard that J.C. Horn's available. We haven't heard that Marshawn Lattimore is available. I know that the Saints are starting to listen to calls because they just fired their head coach. They are in sell mode at this point. They're 2-6. They're way over the salary cap. They just paid Alvin Kamara. So and the Chiefs have been calling for Marshawn Lattimore. So don't let the Chiefs outbid us again, man. Now, DeAndre Hopkins, I wasn't invested in getting DeAndre Hopkins. He's on the Chiefs, but you look at how aggressive the Chiefs have been. They traded for DeAndre Hopkins last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever they did it, and they kind of beat us to the punch. I don't like I said, I don't know if we were invested in DeAndre Hopkins. Me personally, I was not banging on the table for DeAndre Hopkins, but it's just an example. Don't let the Chiefs. If the Chiefs end up with Marshawn Lattimore, then I may be like, okay, Adam, what happened, man? Like, why did you not go over Marshawn Lattimore? Because I think Marshawn Lattimore would be a game changer for this defense, especially at the cornerback position. Cornerback is probably the biggest need on the roster at this point. It really is. It's the biggest need on the roster at this point, but kind of by far. Because wide receiver, I feel like we can win games with the receiving core that we have, especially with the quarterback that we have. I think we can win games with, Noah Brown being the second guy, De'Ami Brown being the third or the fourth guy, Olamide being the third or the fourth guy, Luke McCaffrey being out there. I think we're fine with the guys that we got. Yes, should we add a guy in the offseason? Do we need more of the wide receiver spot? Yes, we do. I agree with that. But for this season, for the time being, excuse me, I would not force a trade for a wide receiver. I think if you want to be aggressive at a spot, it would be cornerback more than wide receiver at this point. Then you kind of attack wide receiver in the offseason when T. Higgins is available as a free agent. DeAndre Hopkins is going to be a free agent this offseason if he doesn't get re-signed by the Chiefs. Deontay Johnson, not really big on Deontay Johnson because of some of the history with the attitude. When he was on the Steelers, one of his teammates fumbled a football. He just walked off instead of trying to hop on to instead of fighting for the fumble and trying to pounce on the fumble. Deontay Johnson looked the other way and just walked off. We've seen Deontay Johnson kind of be a malcontent and kind of complain for the football. I just think at this point right now with our culture, we're not really looking for guys like. And I'm not saying Deontay Johnson is a bad guy or a bad person or anything like that, but I just feel like at this point right now, we're looking for guys that are kind of more similar to Terry McLaurin. Now, not every receiver is going to be like Terry and be reserved and not complain about the football, but I think right now with this culture, that's kind of what we're looking for. Like Noah Brown, he's not gonna complain about touches and whatnot. Same thing with the other guys that we got right now. So right now it's Terry and a wide. It's a Terry. Noah Brown's the number 2, and really just a mix of guys. Wide receiver by committee, running the football. Jaden Daniels going to get it done as a runner, as a passer. B-Rob's going to get it done. So that's our offense right now. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The offense is not the problem. We're number 1 in rushing touchdowns. We're top 5 in rushing yards. We're top 5 in rush yards per carry. I mean, I could just go down the line. Completion percentage, top 5, if not number 1 in the league. I mean, there's just so many stats I can just throw out there how good we are in offense, especially at the quarterback position for sure. So that's just my take. Do we make a trade tomorrow? To answer your question, I know I'm giving a long-winded answer. I would not be surprised if they don't make a trade because Adam Peters did say he wanted to build through the draft. And if he takes his time and doesn't make a trade, I understand why he would not. It just depends on who is available. Clearly, guys want to come here, but are their teams making them available? And is Adam going to play hardball a little bit with the draft picks? Because we have 2/3. Does he want to hang on to both? Does he want to hang on to the third? Does he want to hang on the third round draft picks? Is he willing to give up a 4th round pick, or does he really only want to just give up a 6? I know somebody just got traded for a 6th round pick today, if I'm not mistaken. Azeez Ojulari is a guy that I like, honestly, but I know it's hard to trade within your division. I know we did it with the Eagles, but I do like Azeez Ojulari from the Giants. I think he's a good pass rusher. I know we shut him down yesterday. But he's a talented pass rusher. I do like him. I do like Aziz Ojulari. I do like Harold Landry. I do like Zadarius Smith, but he's not going to be available. He's going to get traded to the Lions most likely. Hold on one second, guys. All right, I just want to give a quick shout out to Bet US here, guys, and go over some of the picks that we made before the game started. So let me pull this up here real quick. This is for the Giants game. So and make sure you guys check out BetUS. As always, they have a promo code going on, 150% deposit match up to $2,000 on your first time deposit with promo code U2150. Let's quickly go over some of the picks that we had. So I mean, I only did one pick. I did a play of the day. Let's not sugarcoat it. I got it wrong, guys. It was Terry McLaurin over 4.5 receptions. Just the game script was weird. Both teams just ran the heck out of the ball. We ran the ball a lot, which is what I wanted us to do anyway. And the Giants just decided to just run the ball a lot too. So it just really wasn't a passing game for us because we had the lead early, which is what I like. And I mean, if you took the Commanders money line, of course you won on that for sure. And I'm pretty sure I said that. I didn't say any over under or anything like that. But Terry McLaurin went under. Jaden Daniels went under on rushing yards. Jaden Daniels passing yards. Did he go over under? Let me look that up real quick. Pretty sure he might have went under on passing yards too because he just didn't have to do too much. Yeah, he had 209 passing yards. So this was a game where we had the lead. We should have put them away early when it was 21-7. I thought coming out of the half when we got the ball back, we should have ran it up 28-7, but we had to punt. But games like that, I thought we should have blew them out instead of it being. I thought it was a little bit closer than what I liked. But hey, a win is a win is a win. I can't complain about winning in New York. It's always tough to win in New York. So you can't really complain about a 5-point win or a 1-point win or anything like that. But like I said, the play of the day did not hit. But we will bounce back. We will bounce back next week for sure. And then also the offensive rookie of the year, guys. You guys should have locked that in, man. But Terry McLaurin over touchdowns is going to hit over 4.5 and receiving yards. If you guys lock that in before the season starts, that's going to smash, guys. He's going to smash that baby by week. He might smash that in like the next 4 games. He might get to 900 yards in like the next 4 games. He's at 500 something yards right now, so I could clearly see Terry getting there pretty easily. Terry, he's at how many yards he's got right now? He's got 598 yards right now. So he's going to break that in like the next 5 to 6 games. I feel like he's going to get there because he's going to have another 100-yard game. It may be this week. We'll see. Definitely against the Eagles. He's an Eagle killer. So I think against the Eagles, that's when he's going to go crazy. He may not go crazy on Sunday, but the Eagles game for sure, he's going to go off. So you look at the next couple of games for us, or the NFC East. Philly versus Dallas coming up next week. So Philly's going to win that game. And then we play Philly week 11 on Thursday Night Football. And then we play Dallas week 12. So it's looking like it's going to be Cooper Rush, guys. I mean, whether it's Dak or Cooper Rush, we should blow them out. I think it's going to be a blowout. I really do. I think we're going to blow them out at home November 24th at 1 o'clock. I think it's going to be a blowout. I really do. I don't think it's going to be close at all. The Falcons could have blew out the Cowboys. I think when we beat the Cowboys on November 24th, I think that's going to be the game that they fire Mike McCarthy. I think that's going to be the game they fire Mike McCarthy. I think that's going to be the game that we get Mike McCarthy up out of there. And I would love to see him stay because he's so bad and so awful. But I think that's going to be the game that he finally gets fired. You know, after we beat them 30-13, I'm gonna predict that score already. I hate to do that, but I think we're gonna blow out the Cowboys when we play them in the next couple weeks. But let me get back to the comments here, guys. Shout out to Mo. Shout out to Mo. Great channel member, as always. Says this is a great season. This will be a season to remember for sure. Of course, not over yet. We got to continue and finish the season and finish strong and get that home playoff game. I think we will get that home playoff game. I know we will. But yes, this has been an awesome season so far. It's been a fun season. Just waking up knowing that your team's going to take care of business every week. I mean, it's just a great feeling. It's a feeling that we haven't had in years, guys. It's a feeling we haven't had in years. The Wi-Fi said, "Why are you talking about the Eagles yet?" Yeah, I know. I don't want to talk about them yet, but it's the NFC East, so we just have to be prepared. I know people are asking about it already and just getting excited for that game, but you got to look at the outlook of the NFC East as always. Jack Jamaican Bobsledder says, "Is this the second team that we are playing that is coming off of a bye? What in the world? Schedule makers are stupid." Yes. So the Bears came off of a bye and we still beat them. The Steelers are coming off a bye, and we do have a very late bye. So, I'm not going to complain about it. It's just what they did. It's the schedule makers and how they made it. Now, one thing I will say that the schedule makers did do in our favor is that we don't travel much. I think we have like one of the least travel miles in the NFL. We don't travel much. I know we had the Ravens game that was in Baltimore. Literally, they just get on a bus and go there. Philly, of course, is closed. New York is closed. Steelers game at home. So we don't really travel this much. I think the farthest game that we played was against the Cardinals. So we haven't really traveled much. So I'm not going to complain about the late bye because we haven't really had to travel much. So it's still the late bye is messed up, and having teams come off a bye, and then after the Steelers come off a bye and we play them, we have a short week. Going to Thursday, going on the road to Philly. So, yeah, the schedule makers didn't do us much favors, but I'm not going to complain. And we have a fourth place schedule, so I'm not going to complain too much about the schedule. So I think we'll be fine. Jamaica Bobsledder also saying he wants to be traded to the Commanders. A lot of people, you're not alone. You're not alone. People are banging on the table. People are lining up. They're lining up to jump on the bandwagon. Everybody wants to be on the bandwagon right now. Everybody loves you when you're up. Everybody loves you when you're up. Everybody loves a winner too, of course. Everybody loves a winner. Corey Williams says, "Are we going to make any kind of trade to help our defense and corners out?" Yeah, this is what I said. I said I could see Harold Landry. I could see maybe Azeez Ojulari. Zadarius Smith is off the table, so that's not going to happen. That's somebody that I was interested in seeing us get. Max Crosby, I think that's a pipe dream. I don't think that's realistic at all. Myles Garrett is not realistic in my opinion, but you just never know. The Browns, they may start selling. I'm trying to think who else. The Saints, Marshawn Lattimore. We'll see. That's a pipe dream. And then you look at the Browns corners. Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward. You look at those two guys. Are they available? How available are those guys? Are they available at all? We haven't heard anything from the Browns saying that those guys are available. Are the Browns going to be in sell mode because Jameis was awful yesterday and they're like 2-6, 2-7? So do they finally start giving guys away? If you look at it offensively, there's really not much there. Like the Mike Williams, the wide receiver from the Jets, I wouldn't trade for him. And then Darius Slayton, the wide receiver from the Giants that we played against yesterday. And Darius Slayton's actually decent. He's not bad. Mike Williams is decent too. But those are the guys on the offensive side of the football that you're really looking at that may be available. And then, like I said, defensively, Tre'Davious White from the Rams. He was an all-pro corner on the Bills for years and years and years and years. And now he's on the Rams, and the Rams have made him available for trade for the past couple of weeks. They gave him permission to seek a trade. So that's somebody that could see that could possibly come here. I think if you do trade for him, you give up like a 6th or 7th round pick at the most. At the most. I'm not giving up much for Tre'Davious White. And honestly, I really wouldn't trade for Tre'Davious White either. Tre'Davious White, he might get released, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if he was cut. The Jets already said they're not going to trade DJ Reed, so that's a pipe dream. Teams have checked in on DJ Reed. Teams have checked in on Garrett Wilson. They're not going to trade Garrett Wilson. So there's really not a lot of realistic options out there. Baron Browning, the linebacker just from the Broncos, he just got traded to the Cardinals for a 6th round pick. Who else? Deontay Johnson already got traded to the Ravens, so he's off the board. So there's just not a lot of names out there, guys. Christian Kirk got injured. He's a guy that I would have liked to see us trade for, the wide receiver for the Jaguars. I do like him. I think he's talented, but of course his contract is a little crazy. But yeah, there's just not a lot out there, guys. I know like some people are bringing up Adam Thielen from the Panthers. Like, no, I'm good on that. I'd rather just stay with what we got. So, but like I said, defensively, the two corners from the Browns, Marshawn Lattimore, J.C. Horn, but none of those guys are really have been made available. So the pickings are slim at the cornerback spot. Maybe pass rusher. I think pass rusher. I would not be surprised if we ended up trading for a pass rusher. I could see that happening. I could see that happening for sure. Jimmy Z says Corey Williams. I think AP is on it, but I also think times are different now. He's not going to reach and he's not going to bend over and do something stupid. We'll see. Yeah, so like I said, don't be surprised if we make 0 trades tomorrow. Don't be surprised because remember, Adam Peters said he wants to build through the draft, and like you said, Jimmy Z, I don't think he's going to force anything to make something happen. Even though there's reports saying that we are aggressively are really looking for wide receiver help, we're looking at cornerback help. Maybe that stuff is done in the offseason. Maybe we sign a free agent and just draft a guy instead of trading draft capital for a guy that we're not 100% sold on at this point. So yeah, I don't see Adam Peters forcing it because Adam Peters, he had an opportunity to trade for Brandon Ayuk, and he didn't want to do that. Like he was interested in trading for Brandon Ayuk, but he didn't want to give up a first round pick. So Adam Peters, he's a good deal maker. He definitely understands the game, of course, and he's not going to force anything right now. Carson Hassett says the culture is actually darn good. It's actually darn good, man. We are close. We are close, and we actually really are close now. It's not we're close. We are here. We are here. We are a winning team. We are a winning franchise at this point. We are winning. We have a winning culture, a winning team at 7-2. We are a legitimate contender. We're the second seed in the NFC right now. If the season started today, if the playoffs started today, we're talking about playoffs. If the playoffs started today, we would have a home game against the Green Bay Packers. If the season started today. Jonathan Delgadillo says, I've been rooting for this team for 29 years. I've never been this proud to be a fan. Hail to the Commanders. Let's go. Yes, sir. It's been a long time coming, guys. It's been a long time coming. We deserve this. We deserve this, guys. It's been a long time coming. We deserve this. We deserve this for the culture. We deserve this. We deserve finally having a quarterback, having a good coach, a competent GM, a competent front office, a competent owner. It's about darn time. Why not us? Why not us, guys? Why not us? It's time for us to have some fun and take care of business. And you just feel the energy, guys. You feel the energy from the team. You feel the energy from the fan base. The fan base has just been revitalized. The culture's been revitalized. You just see it. Even the national media is just loving us now. It's kind of like, who cares what the national media says, but people are loving us. Jaden is running away with the Rookie of the Year. He's a legit MVP candidate. We got players playing better. We got guys that want to come here now. Guys want to be traded here. Guys are going to want to come here in free agency. It's just, man, it's made it worth it, guys. I know nobody wants to sit through 29 years of only winning, or 20 to 30 years of only winning one playoff game, only having 10 wins a couple of times. I know in 1999 we had 10 or more wins. We had like 11 wins, I believe, in 1999. But it kind of makes it all worth it when you look back at it. I don't want to sit through the twilight zone again and go through terrible ownership, but it's like, man, we suffered through this, guys, and the satisfaction of it is just incredible. It's an outer body experience, and it's like, pinch me, is this really happening right now? It's the crazy thing about it. It's not done yet. It's not done yet, guys. It's more games that are to be had for us. And I think worst case scenario, we win 11 games. And that's at worst. And before the season started, I had us winning like 7 or 8 games. And when Dan Quinn said a recalibration, I was like, oh man, you're really saying rebuild. But nah, he really meant it. Recalibration. And we're ahead of schedule. We're about to double the amount of wins that we had last year. We only had 4 wins last year. We only had 13 rushing touchdowns. We had 15 rushing touchdowns. There's just so many things that we're going to break from last year. I know last year was terrible. Dante Fowler has 6 sacks. He has more sacks than Chase Young and Montez Sweat combined at this point. So it's just things like that you look at in retrospective, and just some of the things that we're doing right now. It's just incredible. It really is. It's just awesome to see that, especially in Washington, man. We are a sports town, and we deserve a winning team. We are a sports town, and there's a lot of talent coming out of the DMV. We deserve this, guys. We deserve it. And the players deserve it too. The players that have been Terry McLaurin has stuck it through, man. He deserves this more than anybody. Terry McLaurin has been through 10 to 15 different quarterbacks, it feels like. And he stuck it out year by year. And it's just awesome to see guys like that to finally experience winning, and just good quarterback play at that too. So, and good coaching. So I'm just so happy for Terry, man. He sticks out to me when I think about guys that have just been through so much with the organization for sure. Jimmy Z says, "Ella, we can laugh at Bruce Allen quotes now. Thank goodness those days are behind us." Oh my gosh, yeah, we can sit back and laugh at the culture is darn good, or him telling Doug Williams to turn his cell phone off to make trades, so he doesn't know about the trades he's going to make. So just the dysfunction that we saw. Like I said, I don't want to traumatize you guys about talking about the past, but it's just funny to laugh at the past now and just look at the future. And we're partying like it's 1996 right now. Beast Mode 2.0. Yes, Noah Brown has some strong hands. Now, Noah Brown had a couple drops against the Bears. He did. He really upset me. He really upset me last game, but he redeemed himself with the Hail Mary catch. He redeemed himself yesterday with the tough catch on the sideline. He redeemed himself with a catch over the middle. That was a laser by Jaden Daniels. That was a dot at Jaden Daniels. Just the placement, the placement of the ball over the middle. That was just awesome by Jaden Daniels. Not a lot of quarterbacks can make that throw, and that's why he's in the MVP talk right now. That's why he's in the MVP conversation, because he makes throws like that. He makes plays like that. Game selling throws. The throw to Alameda Zacchaeus for the first down. That was a great play call by Cliff as well. But you got to get it. You got to make the throw too. But yes, Noah Brown has strong hands. Noah Brown played well yesterday. He had a good game. 5 catches for 60 yards. He was clutch for us. He made some really big plays. Gabriel O says, was born in 1996. So I can honestly say this is the best team I've seen in my lifetime. Same here, guys. This is the best team that I've seen in my lifetime too. It really has. So I know we've seen the RG3 year, the Kirk Cousins year, the Sean Taylor year, the scoop and score. We've seen sell like every other 4 years or every 5 years we see a good team, but I feel like this team has the chance to be consistent and not just be 10-6 or 9-7 and sneak into the playoffs and have like a crazy run at the end. Like this is where and limp into the playoffs or have a crazy run into the playoffs. This is a team that's going to have a great season and show consistency throughout and get a home playoff game for sure. Awesomeness Sports, what's up? Awesomeness says, "Hail to the Washington Commanders." Yes, sir. Hail to the Commanders. Hail to the Commanders. You already know what it is. D. Pomeray says, "Jaden Daniels spotted at the Wizards game tonight." Yes, sir. Yes, I did see that. He is in the Wizards game. The Wizards versus Warriors. Let me check on the score for that right now. But yes, he is courtside. Bobby Wagner is there too. So Jaden is with his mom. Mark Ein is at the game as well, the partial owner. And Jaden's mom is at the game, and Bobby Wagner is at the game as well. So it's good to see him supporting the other local teams, especially the Washington Wizards as always. So that's just good to see from Jaden Daniels. We know Jaden Daniels is a big basketball fan. Bobby Wagner is a big basketball fan. We see Jaden Daniels with the basketball before the game starts all the time, working out and doing that. We saw him doing that in training camp too. Jaden Daniels goes back and forth with Bobby Wagner about basketball as well. So we know how much that Jaden Daniels loves basketball for sure. Tommy Harrison, yes, I agree with you, man. He says I just worry about the back end of this defense. Good receivers have their way. Yeah, yes, that is a room for improvement there for sure. With the secondary, we got to get a guy in here, whether it's via trade, whether it's signing somebody in the offseason, whether it's drafting somebody. But yes, if we're talking about the now for the last 72, so we got 8 games left. If you're talking about how we can fix the secondary for the last eight games of the season, we got to make a trade. That's the only way we're going to fix it. Excuse me. But yes, the secondary does concern me for sure. Especially against AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, guys like that. So we definitely gotta tighten up the secondary for sure in this second half of the year. And then also the run defense has to improve too. We struggled against the run against the Giants. We struggled against the run against the Bears with DeAndre Swift. So we really gotta work on the run game, especially going up against Najee Harris. This upcoming week for sure. And Jaylen Warren. All right, guys. Going to probably wrap up in the next couple of minutes. Just want to thank you guys for coming in. Keep pounding. What's up, man? He's a great Panthers YouTuber. Make sure you guys subscribe to Keep Pounding for sure, man. That was a good game we had against you guys. Hard fought game against you guys and Andy Dalton, and Chuba Hubbard, Deontay Johnson, who's no longer there, and who else is on your team? J.C. Horn. Who else is on the Panthers? Yeah, J.C. Horn and guys like that. I thought you guys fought hard against us. You guys just ran into a buzzsaw. That is us. But we played you guys. But Bryce Young, that was a good win. You guys got the Saints coach fired, man. You guys made the Saints tap out. You guys made the Saints tap out. You made what's his name? Michael Thomas was crashing out on Twitter. Other guys were crashing out on Twitter for the Saints. You guys ended the Saints season. So everybody's talking about how bad the Panthers are, but the Panthers ended up beating the Saints. I mean, the Saints have talent. They have Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave and guys like that, and Derek Carr's not a terrible quarterback. But the Panthers with Bryce Young beat the Saints. So congrats to you guys on getting that W. Thank you for the congratulations on our success, man. It's been a long time coming. For sure. Yes, sir. Make sure you guys subscribe to Keep Pounding. So Everett Rick says he loves Marshawn Lattimore. Of course. I mean, he's a dog. You saw what he does to Mike Evans. You saw what Marshawn Lattimore does to the rest of the league. I mean, he shuts guys down. He has an island out there. He really does. Marshawn Lattimore is legit, and he would be great. And he's mean. That's what I like about Marshawn Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore, because he's one of the few of a dying breed. He's not nice when he plays out there. He plays mean when he goes up against other wide receivers. So that's why I would love to see Marshawn Lattimore out and the burgundy and gold. He would be great out there for us, especially in the NFC East, because there's a lot of good wide receivers in the NFC East right now. So this just said the Commanders have explored potential interest on the trade market for quarterback Emmanuel Forbes per Josina Anderson. So that's breaking news right now. So it's not really breaking news in my opinion. I feel like they've been shopping him and trying to see what they can get for him. I don't think you're going to get much for Emmanuel Forbes. Maybe get a 7th round pick in return, or a 6th round pick in return, or it's going to be the Adam Peters special where you attach a 7th round pick to Emmanuel Forbes and you get a 6th round pick in return. That's what I think you're going to get for Emmanuel Forbes. But right now, we're going to wrap it up, guys. As always, make sure you guys check out BetUS. Make sure you guys use that promo code YouTube150, get 150% deposit match on your first deposit up to $2,000. Fire 120 says, proud of this team indeed. And Tommy B says, Ed, do you ever see Nick Ballore in special teams? That dude flies down the field and makes plays like a man on a mission. Yeah, I mean, Nick Ballore, he's going to make a pro. He probably will make a Pro Bowl for special teams. Tressway, Jeremy Reeves. We're going to have a lot of Pro Bowls this year too. But special teams has been doing a great job. They've been doing a great job. They've been making some big tackles, forcing fumbles and stuff like that. Jeremy Reeves making plays. Special teams has been great, man. They've been great. Steve K, you're hilarious. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. I would love if the Saints took that trade. That would just be Adam Peters would be the GM of the century if he made that move. Emmanuel Forbes and a 4th for Marshawn Lattimore. That's a Madden trade right there. That's a Madden trade. So we know that's not going to happen for sure. But if that did happen, that would be insane. If Adam Peters was able to fleece the Saints and get that return, Adam Peters, we would have to build a statue for Adam Peters in year 1. But all right, you guys, not like the Dwayne Wade statue. We wouldn't do Adam Peters like that. But if he's able to make a trade like that, we would have to make Adam Peters a statue for sure. All right, you guys, as always, Health Commanders, make sure you guys check out BetUS. They are sponsoring this video. Health Commanders, we're going to party like it's 1996 as always. All right, you guys, peace.